Join us for this week's market update, where we'll be covering information and data for the third week of the new year, as well as discussing 2023 projections, both nationally and locally, and seeing how they may impact you. Welcome to another local market update with Rick Batista. Let's get started here. This is information and data provided by the Chicago Association of Realtors. It's current as of yesterday, January 30th, 2023, and for the week ending January 21st. Before we dive into the numbers, let's cover fun facts. Fun facts, market time! Housing inventory is increasing across most of the country as home sales continue to slow amid higher mortgage rates and elevated home prices. According to Realtor.com's December housing report, inventory rose in 49 out of the 50 largest metros annually, with active listings up 54.7% compared to the same period in 2021. Time on market is also increasing nationally, with a typical home spending 67 days on the market as of last measure, 11 more days compared to December 2021. So let's unpack this a little bit more. Once inventories began to rise in 2022, it wasn't necessarily due to people putting their homes on the market, but with rates rising, homes were staying on the market longer. So longer market times equal more inventory. Even though there are more homes on the market, overall there's still a lack of inventory in most markets across the nation, and that's what's really helped the prices from falling dramatically. So why aren't many homeowners putting their homes up on the market? Well, there may be a couple of reasons besides their own personal and individual situation, but there are many homeowners who have great rates compared to rates today, and without prices falling dramatically, even though they may have a great deal of equity in their home, chances are a lot of sellers and or would-be buyers are taking those two things into consideration. Why would they give up the low rate that they have to go into a higher rate mortgage, and where are they going to move to? That's not going to cost them a heck of a lot more than what they're paying now. With all that said, even in this market, homes will sell, especially when they're priced right. That's something that we are absolutely seeing here in Chicago and throughout the burbs. But why are homes sitting in the market? In many cases, it's one of two things. Either number one, if the house is being sold in its current condition, it may need a price adjustment. Not to insult any sellers out there, but a lot of times people may take time to catch up with the current market conditions, and a lot of people are expecting to sell their homes for the same prices that we were seeing when the rates were lower. And that's simply not going to be the case in many situations. And if you're not going to consider lowering the price on your home, then consider spending a little bit more money to get the price that you want. And you might have to spruce it up a little bit, create some updates, whether it's in a kitchen and bath. Those things can certainly take time, and you more than likely have to take your home off the market if you want to start focusing on updates. But that's where you need to do the numbers and see if all that work and effort and money is going to be worth it. Are you going to get the price that you want once all the work is done and the money is spent? But many markets, even with the rising rates and low inventory, are seeing buyers, and even in January. Last year, that spring market started, I would say probably the third or fourth week of January. This year, it's even started even sooner, with a lot of people attending open houses and making offers just after the new year. In our own personal experience, we have been in situations where either there's a great deal of showings, a great deal of interest, and or multiple offers. So even though the market is not insane in Chicago, I can honestly say that it is still active, and more so with houses that are priced properly. Can't stress that enough. So if you are thinking about buying this year, just keep in mind that, especially here in Chicagoland area, Chicago and the burbs, there are a lot of active buyers right now, but experts believe that the mortgage rates have peaked. So they have been coming down, I think, since either October or November of last year. And as rates continue to go downward, there will be more and more buyers entering the market. So keep that in mind. There might be more competition and might see more multiple bid situations. And with experts projecting a rise in inventory and a decline in mortgage rates, so long as inflation continues to ease, they're suggesting that we're heading for a more stable and predictable market than we've seen in the last few years. So I don't know about you, but I'm all good with the stability that we were seeing in 2017, 2018, 2019. So from fun facts, we go to quick facts. We're covering percentages here year over year, and this is for residential properties only, in Chicago only. Even though we do cover the suburbs, this report does not cover the suburbs. So we're talking about these 77 areas of Chicago, which you'll see right behind me, which consist of many, many neighborhoods. I think close to 180 separate different neighborhoods. And realtors, especially in descriptions, always like to create new neighborhoods, especially when you're on the cusp there. But anyway, new listings, we saw detached single-family homes drop 19% year over year, while attached, being condos and townhomes, was down by 22.5%. Under contract, Detached homes were down nearly 32% at 31.6%, while attached were down by just over 36%. Homes for sale detached up by 13.7%. That's probably the highest we've seen in a number of weeks, or shall I say a number of months. The attached market down by 23%. Unpacking that a little bit more, we finished the week of January 21st with 248 new listings in the single-family detached market, bringing us to a 3-month average of 258, down by 7.6%, while the single-family attached market saw 450 wrap up that week with an average 3-month average of 305, down by just over 27%. Under contract in the detached market, 158 homes with a 3-month average of 120, down by 35.7% year over year. And in the attached market, we saw 274, which brought us a 3-month average of 169, and that was down 39.7% year over year. Inventory of homes to sell for the single-family detached market, we've wrapped up the week of January 21st with 2,399 homes, 3-month average of 2,738, up by 10.8%, and attached 3,154 with a 3-month average of 3,824, down by 25.4%. So even though market times are rising, I assure you that if a home is priced properly and marketed properly, given its current state and condition, and really focusing on the things that matter. One of the jobs of a realtor is finding what to showcase about the property. Not just about the new kitchen and the finishes throughout, but really finding those things that matter to buyers and casting that net as wide as possible to capture as many potential and qualified buyers as possible. So thank you so much for joining us here this week's market update. What does this information mean for you? I have no idea. We'd have to start a conversation. It all depends on what your situation is, whether you're looking to buy or sell. We've worked with people who make sense for them to sell and rent, depending on what their plans are for the coming year or years. Or if you're renting now, it might make sense to rent for a little bit longer until you're in a position to buy. And people will always ask, when's the right time to sell? It's always, when's the right time for you, as with anything. If you're not sure what to do in your current situation, or for something that's coming up in your life in the near future, in the next year or so, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to share as much data and information as possible so that you can make a better decision and put yourself in an advantageous position, both at the closing table and beyond. I appreciate your time and wanting to stay informed. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll catch you next week. Take care.